Okay, HR going to hit guys with some clipped together videos of PA X burst cross. Just get into the play screen here first, and I'm going to show you what I'm really looking at. There's really like three things I am looking at that could influence what I'm going to do immediately when this route begins. Now, you saw that this safety moved pre-snap. Generally speaking, if that safety lines up in kind of a split deep safety look and he's a little bit more to my quarterback's left, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Here's what the routes look like, okay? Three main things I'm looking at here. The X route is the main money route, wide receiver 2, and that's why I have, the 99 catch and traffic Edelman out there. Also, that is, your most difficult to stop route on a regular basis if you are good at throwing bullets versus kind of throwing over cornerbacks if you can diagnose correctly. However, you also need a little bit more time to get that route off. Then you've got the B receiver, who is your wide receiver 1. In this case, you can see it's Moss. It's going to go in motion and then run that deep kind of cross, kind of almost like PA slot crosses, but in reverse from right to left. And you also got the leak out from the running back, your halfback, the RB, okay? Now, if you get one-on-one on the deep route versus the X, just the X versus this cornerback, and I'm playing Gemini at -2 with no offensive boost in. So this is a 102 Bailey up there, okay? Then you're going to want to pick on that route, okay? And it's going to be waiting for that bend in the route. And then if he's underneath the cornerback, a bullet. If he gets out in front of the cornerback, you lead him, okay? Here's what you need to worry about to get to that point. If there are plays where the middle linebacker to your quarterback's left loop blitzes around the tackle, around the edge, and comes from the outside, can blow up the play. If you have a defensive back lined up outside of this is a linebacker, but if there's, say, a D-back in the slot who blitzes you, could also blow up the play. The thing with a D-back out in the slot is sometimes he will just bite on the play action, and you can just get a free shot at the play anyway. Other times he'll take a quick glance inside and just continue right for your quarterback. Those are the worst kind of defenses for this play because he can get on top of your quarterback pretty quickly. If you get that type of a look, my strong recommendation is either A, get rid of the ball, or B, try to hit your running back on the quick route, okay, the quick RB route. Now, I prefer that you run this play on first down so you don't see more exotic, deep cover, sink defenses where you can get, warp speed defenders and a lot of D-backs, in the area of your wide receiver. First downs are preferable. If you happen to get one of those plays that doesn't go your way, you get plenty of time to recover, but it can be a huge hitting play, can get you huge chunk yards. Now, if there is a safety over on the side near the big money route here, the X route, okay? If you happen to get a safety out here, I know I'm trying to click on him out here, but if he was kind of closer to the left, and after you snap, you don't get that big sudden blitz to your left that's going to eat you up. What you're trying to focus on is, does the safety go over to help on the X receiver? If there's safety and cornerback on the X receiver, that makes the route more dangerous, and you are quickly looking for one of two things: the slot route to your wide receiver 1B, or if your running back gets out into the flat with no coverage, which happens every once in a while, hit him quick, don't wait for the sideline or he'll run out of bounds and get like 1 or 2 yards, and you just adjust on one of those two routes. Okay, let's just get into a few plays and see what we see, and we'll go from there. There's the motion, no blitz, one-on-one. He's underneath the coverage, bullet him, get good animations. All right, you just picked up a bunch of yards, okay? Again, I'm gonna run it close to the sideline now, but same theory. Now, I'm looking at this safety. Is he going to double up on my outside receiver there? I don't have a D-back out here, so, I'll see if this middle linebacker on the inside kind of does a looping blitz. If not, I'm gonna go through the same progressions. All right, the main read here when I don't see a defensive back in the slot that could blitz me is, am I going to get double covered on the X or not? Okay. Here's the motion. No real double coverage. He backs off to the middle, bullet him again. There it is. Okay, and this is, -2, no offensive boosters in. Okay, now this is close and tight to the end zone, so let's see how the space plays with this. Again, this is not a D-back. Okay, and you've got your safety out here. Let's see how he reacts. Here comes a middle linebacker. It's a blitz, and I got it off quick. See, I reacted. The blitz came from the deep safety. So when you see that coming up quick, you got the one-on-one for sure. So that was a good video to take a quick peek at. Okay, on replay, I'm gonna pop this up. I'm gonna pull it back out. The blitz is gonna come from the safety up top on the left. Okay, so he's coming from a deep distance. I picked that up, and now I know I've got one-on-one on the X. I just got to get that bend and just barely get rid of the ball. So the timing, but I also did have, if you take it back, if I didn't have time, you see my halfback came off of that route. He was wide open, so I could have hit him there as well. Okay, taking the yards, the safer yards right there. That would have been the two options. Clip 2 against Vegas. Also, I am -2 again. No offensive boosters in. I'm just going to go into these plays. Here we go. The first video describes a lot. I don't see a defensive back out here. I could see a lot of pressure. Just generically, seems to be a lot of guys potentially coming up on the blitz. I'm going to take a look at what this safety does to react. If I get enough time and I don't get double teamed, I'm going to go to the X. If that safety kind of shifts over to kind of help with the double team by going over towards my X, then I'm going to be looking at the running back or the slot. Okay, let's take a peek. Picked up the blitz. Both guys, see, he went over. That's the perfect example. He went over to kind of double team. And I'm going to do a quick instant replay here. He went over to double team my X receiver. The safety did. Look at the snap. Take a look at a safety already start, getting out there on the left. He's already getting out there. So rather than risk that double, although I might have been able to throw under because the defensive back went under, the slot just came wide open. Okay, I had a couple of different options on that play. Let's go back and do it again. I don't have a defensive back out here. Okay, I don't. That's just defensive end. I'm going to keep an eye out again always on that inside linebacker to my left. Safety, interesting little posture out here. We'll see if he goes over to the left or not. Take the motion. He's gotten doubled. So you could go dump off to the halfback just to show it. I probably should have just gone to the slot. And that's exactly what I should have done. But, just for the purposes of that play, video showed it. Let's take a look again. See what that safety up top to the left does. Looks like he's going to double. So I'll just hit the slot nice and safe. 3rd and 2. We'll run it one more time. This is a cornerback. I could be looking at a corner blitz here. Okay, so I might have to be quick with this read. No, he backed off. One-on-one. This I'm going to throw over. Oh, and I overthrew him. See, that's the first time that the X route, and this happens a lot, first time that the X route beats the cornerback, and this does happen quite a bit. It's the first time I'm showing it today. Everything's picked up. He beats that guy, and I just overthrew him. Okay. 4th and 2, not ideal. Ideally, I'm not really calling PAX burst crossed here, but let's try it. I've got a safety out here covering nobody, so I've got either just a soft type of zone or a deep zone, or that safety might be coming. Okay. However, unless he completely backs off the double, I might have the deep route open if I have time. Kind of doesn't. I got plenty of time. Throw it over. That's what I meant by leading him versus bulleting him. Okay. Let's try this again. It's a CB in here. I think I've seen this look already. I should have. I'm thinking this cornerback out here on my wide receiver is going to drop into his zone, to be honest. But let's see how this play develops. Nope, he's coming. And he is way over the top. Just lead him. Overthrew. Now, again, here's part of that. Part of this is Vegas has got me at a -2, and it's Dion. So my guy's a little bit slower than he would normally be out here. Edelman. He usually got a little bit more separation. And if I have my boosters in, he's not a 98. All right, but even then, I think I had him beat with a good throw. Again, let's see. Double. Ooh, good pressure. I waited a split second. Should have read that pressure a little bit, but that wasn't the immediate blitz. Just good defense. Take a look at the safety and see what happens right away. Not coming. One-on-one. He's going to be open over the top. Touchdown. Okay. Now with my offensive boosters in, this gets a lot easier. Okay, I saved this one for the third clip in the video. This is against Paco, who is even power with me. So the first time I'm not going to be -2. I don't have my offensive boosters in, but the reason I saved Paco is I know his defense, his strategy setup has a couple of plays that actually defends PAX burst cross pretty well. I won't get into the plays. I won't name them. The guys who play with me can feel free to ask if they don't already know. But let's get into it. Just know I got to tread a little carefully, depending on which plays I run into. And I'm going to be a little bit tighter here on how I approach the drives. Now, clearly, again, pay attention to whether or not I get a blitz from this middle linebacker. I don't have a D-back set up outside here. That's going to blitz me. So, I'm looking at one of these two linebackers to see if I get a looping blitz to the left that sometimes eats up the line. Then I'm going to take a look at this safety and see if he goes over to help against the X receiver. And occasionally there's a defensive setup where you get both of those guys, both the cornerback out here on and the safety who go to the X, and then a linebacker typically hovers in the middle of the field underneath the cross route, which is B, which is often open if there's a double team on X. So there are times where you have to be careful and check down to the running back, the RB. So your halfback will be your RB here. As a leak out, I'm going to have to pay attention again to the linebackers, the rush, and what this safety does. So let's take a look. No safety help over the top there. You can kind of throw it. I lobbed it a little too much, but that's the animation you get. See, that was just a quick touch on the screen, but underneath you can get away with it. It's there and it's readily available. Big chunks of yards. We're talking 35 yards here. Again, similar potential look. Safety out here. Nope, this is a DE on the end. So I got a different defensive setup here, but I'm going to be paying attention to these linebackers. Let's see what happens. Safety is going over. There's your cross route. It got open there. See, that's what you want. I didn't hover it. I gave a little bit of time. The halfback might have been open briefly, but it would have been eaten up for shorter yardage. Let's take a look at what happens on this one. No blitz, safety over the top. Let me just check it down. Now, on the wider side of the field where I had more room, I was on the left hash there. So we ran out of bounds pretty quickly and only got 3. But if I was on the right hash marker in the middle, I would have turned up and gotten 8, maybe more on a play like that. 2nd and 7. But again, see, that's what you just got to be wary and disciplined enough to not force the ball to the X receiver. Now, I got a cornerback lined up here. Could just be a zone that he drops into. But if he's blitzing, I am going to either look to quickly get rid of the ball or quickly dump it to my halfback. We'll see what happens. He's kind of coming. Oh, see, that's dangerous. Good defensive setup right there. I want to take a look at that. I picked up the blitz, and I didn't need to rush that play and throw. But let's see what was open there. So you see the cornerback come off the edge, and he gets picked up by the tackle. So the safety's also blitzing up top. I did have one-on-one that was picked up. I could have waited for that break and taken the big shot down the field. Instead, his safety, who looked like he was coming in on a blitz, reacted to the running back and just picked him up. That's what it was. Good play recognition there. Okay? Good play recognition. He might have continued on the blitz if I waited a split second. But you don't want to get hit either. All right, 3rd and 7. This looks like to be a similar setup, so I'm kind of curious if I'm going to see this safety kind of attack. If he comes down attacking and I get the similar look, we'll see. Blitzing. Now, he did not fall for it. That is precisely what in my first video I said would be the worst result on a play like that, is when the cornerback blitzes off that edge and he doesn't bite for the play fake at all. Okay, so there is the reason why I'm not usually using it on 3rd and 7. I'm using it on 1st down. If something like that happens, I can recover, okay? But this is good to see for video purposes. We've seen underneath X. We've seen over the top X. We've seen the slot. We've seen the halfback. We've seen now the corner blitz off the edge, seeing a little bit of everything. All right, 4th and 13. This will be my last look here. No real coverage. Underneath, bullet. Touchdown. There it is.